right, well, we're going to move ahead. I know we still have to finish our Explorer lesson 1, but we're going to move ahead to lesson 2, New Netherlands, which comes a little beyond the period of the explorers starting to arrive in the New World. It's from 1621 to 1647 on our timeline, and that's our history in New York State. And New Netherland is going to be the first colony that we have here in New York State. And if you know what a colony is, it is a settlement of people from another land that have come to a new place to set up a new community. Okay. When Henry Hudson and his crew returned to Europe, they reported what they had seen. They described the trees and the animals, the rivers, and even the air. They said the air smelled sweet. They talked about the Native Americans they met. One crew member said that the Native Americans were a friendly and polite people who had an abundance, or large amount, of provisions, which means food, skins, and fur, meaning animal skins and fur. The big picture, that's always giving us the main idea of what we're reading about in the lesson. I'm going to read that to you. Businessmen in the Netherlands were excited by the reports of North America. They listened to the stories of beavers and otters living in the forest. Europeans loved to wear hats and clothing made from the fur of these animals. Native Americans that they heard were eager to trade fur and animal skins for Dutch products. In 1621, the Dutch government allowed a group of businessmen to set up the Dutch West India Company. The company's goal was to send settlers to North America to set up a colony. A colony is a settlement ruled by another country. The colonists, or people who lived in the colony, would trade the Native Americans. The colonists would sell the furs they received to the Dutch West India Company. The company, in turn, would sell furs in Europe. The new Dutch colony. The new Dutch colony was called New Netherland. It included parts of present-day New York, New Jersey, and Delaware. In 1624, the first colonists sailed for New Netherland. 30 families made the trip. After 8 long weeks at sea, the ship arrived. Some of the families stopped at the mouth of the Hudson River. Others sailed about 150 miles upriver to what is now Albany. Albany is our capital city in New York. There, they built Fort Orange. This was the first permanent European settlement in New York. Soon, more settlers arrived from the Netherlands. They built a fort at the tip of Manhattan. The settlers called it Fort Amsterdam, after the city of Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Around the fort, the city of New Amsterdam grew. In 1626, a man named Peter Minuit arrived. He took over the job of governor, or a person in charge. Our governor right now is Andrew Cuomo, of the new colony. One of the first things he did was to buy Manhattan Island from the Lenni Lenape. He paid for it with tools, beads, and clothing worth $24. So if you can imagine, there is more that we will learn about the Manhattan Purchase, which is what we're talking about right here, that Manhattan was purchased by Peter Minuit, and he paid for it with trading items and some clothing worth about $24, believe it or not. It's a controversial point in our New York State history. The Lenni Lenape, however, did not understand that the Minuit was trying to buy the land. They did not have the same idea about owning the land. They believed that the land was for people to use and that they were being paid only for the resources by the Dutch. So the natives did not understand the trade agreement. They didn't believe that the new people would have claim or ownership of the land. That's basically what they were saying there. And if you look at the painting, which is done by L.F. Tontillo, it shows what Fort Orange looked like. There's a shield on the seal of New Amsterdam. Okay, that's a beaver that's there if you see it right here. Okay, it's a symbol of the fur trade that we had in the New York State area here, at the mouth of the Hudson. Okay. I'm going to go to the next part, and this is the part that you'll be doing with your interview with a settler. It's the Google form that I have there for you, and I'll move to that in the next video. So take a quick break or re-watch the beginning of this video, and I'll be back with a new video for Dutch life in New York.